I didn't buy a sanctuary. I bought a set of golden handcuffs that locked me to a zip code I no longer wanted to live in. And the worst part was, I spent years being incredibly proud of my own chains. Back in 2021, I felt like the absolute smartest man on the planet. While the world was reeling from uncertainty and chaos, I had managed to pull off what every financial expert called the ultimate heist. I locked in a 3% fixed-rate mortgage. I remember the smug, deep-seated satisfaction of showing my monthly statement to my friends over expensive dinners. They were envious, whispering about how I'd practically stolen money from the bank. My parents were beaming with pride, telling me I had finally achieved the dream, that I was set for life. I would sit on my porch every Sunday morning, looking at my patch of grass, feeling a profound, almost religious sense of security. My monthly payment was lower than the rent for a tiny, noisy studio apartment in the city. I thought I had hacked the system. I thought I had won the game before it even really started. But the bank didn't give me a gift. They gave me a tether. And they knew that as long as I held on to that great deal, I would never, ever have the courage to leave. The realization of my imprisonment didn't come as a shock. It arrived as a cold, hard calculation on a rainy Tuesday morning that I could no longer ignore. Fast forward to 2026. The economic landscape has shifted violently. Interest rates have climbed to a staggering 7.5%, and suddenly, the smart decision I made 5 years ago has become a concrete wall I cannot climb over. You see, the system loves to talk to you about locking in a rate, but they never mention that you are also locking in your life. It happened when I got the phone call I'd been waiting for my entire professional career. A dream job offer in Austin, Texas. It was a 40% salary increase, a leadership role in a high-growth startup about to go public, and a chance to finally do work that actually mattered to me. My heart was racing with excitement as I sat down with a mortgage calculator to see what it would look like to relocate. The numbers were a brutal, icy shower that soaked through my soul. To buy a house of the same size and quality in Austin at today's 7.5% rate, my monthly payment wouldn't just increase, it would nearly triple. My $2,200 deal would skyrocket to over $5,500. When I ran the final math, that massive 40% raise wouldn't even cover the difference in interest payments alone. After taxes and the increased cost of housing, I would actually be taking home less money than I was making now. My cheap debt was effectively preventing me from earning an extra $60,000 a year and advancing my career. I was a prisoner of a low interest rate, stuck in a house I had outgrown, in a city that felt like a stagnant, dead end. I looked at Leo, who was still renting a sleek, modern condo near the downtown tech hub. When Leo got a similar offer in Chicago a few months ago, he didn't have to call a realtor or stress about market timing or inventory levels. He didn't have to have a panic attack over losing his rate. He simply gave his landlord 30 days' notice, packed his life into a few boxes, and chased the opportunity with a smile on his face. His wealth wasn't tied to a specific piece of dirt. It was portable. He understood a truth that I was too blinded by the ego of ownership to see. In a fast-moving, volatile economy, mobility is a far higher-yielding asset than a cheap mortgage. I sat in my living room that night, looking at the crown molding I had spent 3 exhausting weekends installing, and I felt a wave of pure, suffocating claustrophobia. I realized I was staying in a job that had become a routine chore, in a city that had grown stale, all to protect a good deal on a mortgage. I was a hostage to my own past success. I was a winner who was losing the game of life every single day. I opened my laptop and found thousands of people online just like me. We are the new class of the locked in. We are too afraid to sell because we can't afford to buy again. We are staying in toxic work environments and refusing better lives because we don't want to give up the 3%. My bank balance was growing at a snail's pace because my salary was capped at my current stagnant role. Meanwhile, Leo had switched jobs twice in 4 years, each move coming with a massive signing bonus and a bigger title. My 3% mortgage had saved me maybe $1,200 a month in interest, but it had cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars in lost career growth, raises, and life experiences. The system wants you anchored. A man who can't move is a man who can't negotiate for a better life. A man who is tethered to a mortgage is a man who will accept a 2% raise and a pat on the back because he is too stable to risk leaving. The golden handcuffs aren't there to keep you safe. They're there to keep you predictable and obedient. They want you to be a responsible homeowner who never causes trouble and never reaches for more because you're too busy feeding the house. Leo just sent me a video from a co-working space in Lisbon, Portugal. He's taking a remote contract that pays him in dollars while he spends in euros. He's exploring a new continent while I'm exploring the same grocery store aisles for the 5th year in a row, staring at the same walls, paying for a deal that has slowly become my cage. I finally realized that I didn't own the 3% rate. The 3% rate owned me. And by the time most people realize that their low interest rate has cost them their highest earning years and their sense of adventure, it's already too late.